Hey, Beat Baseball World! We are back with another exciting episode of the Beat Ball Blues Show. Quick shout out to our music director, Frank Porter. It is his birthday, at least today when we're recording. The show won't be up till his birthday is over, but happy birthday in the present time, Frankie P. Hope you've enjoyed your day. NealDawg, Dr. Bam Bam Clark, back with you. How you feeling, Set Dog?
Good. Now that I've been introduced. Happy birthday, Frank.
Hey, you followed the rules. I appreciate that.
Hey, that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm a rule follower.
We got a cool episode. We got some of the Jets here with us. Got Mr. Frazier here
no
with
thunders.
us.
No thunders.
No thunders. No edges.
Thunders. Just Jets.
No edges. We got the organizers from the All-Star Weekend, at least two of the three, the originals that pulled it in. We got Mr. Jason Frazier here from Mind's Eye. But man, people might think that like right now the hotbed of beat baseball is San Antonio because that's where all these great all-stars just spent a full weekend of all-star fun. And you might even think that like that gateway area of Illinois / St. Louis, or not St. Louis, but Illinois / Missouri area, gateway area with all the exciting things always coming out. Maybe that's the hotbed of beat baseball, but none of that's correct. The hotbed of beat baseball is right here in Sacramento. Had the first family of beat baseball. Jerry Wendell and his wife were here over the weekend. I wasn't able to spend a single second with them, but I had a couple conversations with Jerry on the phone, happy to say. And then the best that ever was, and maybe that will still ever be, that jury's still out, Eric Mazariegos here in Sacramento will probably be coming in through my front door before we are done recording the show. I got a big hot date with NealDawg tonight. So I just want to point out Sacramento's where everything's going on beat baseball wise.
Just no playing. Just no playing. We don't have anybody. We don't have anybody playing.
Oh yeah, no,
in Sacramento.
No, we just talk people.
Yeah,
no.
we just talk.
That's what makes it the hotbed.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I will say before we jump in that when I talked to Jerry on Sunday, he was at one of our favorite spots, BJ's, and I was like, "Oh, dude, do not leave that place without getting yourself a Pizookie." And that was the last message, text I got from him later. He's like, "Oh, you're 100% on the Pizookie." I was like, "Yeah, I was. I don't know much in this world, but I know dessert." The Pizookie.
Wait, to get him what?
Pizookie. A Pizookie. This place makes they have these kind of like individual size cookie pans. They make the cookie in and they bring it to your table while it's still like hot in the pan. They bring it to you in the pan covered in ice cream and toppings. Me and my hot date might be going to BJ's for dinner now that I'm talking Pizookie. Are you a dessert person, D. Smith? I know you're a health nut.
Hell yeah, I'm a dessert person.
Yeah, no, that's where it's at. So if you're ever out this way, you gotta get the Pizookie. So we have obviously David Smith from the San Antonio Jets. We got Zach Arambula from the San Antonio Jets, and I already mentioned we got Jason Frazier here with us. What's happening, everybody? Thanks for jumping in with us.
What's going on? Happy birthday, Frankie. Sir.
Appreciate that. A little love for our Frankie boy. He'll be on the next episode with us, our final show of the 2023 calendar. But fellas, so D. Smith and Zach, I want to start with you guys. Axel Cox wasn't able to join us tonight, but the three of you were the originators. A lot of people jumped in. I know you guys had some good help and good sponsors. But as the two of the three where the seed started, how do you feel at all now that it's all said and done, man? Do you guys feel good about how it all played out?
No, they feel shitty about it, man. They hate it.
They might. You never know. We just lost somebody.
I couldn't stop smiling after the event was over. It was an amazing event for a lot of reasons. A lot of people helped out, and we thanked them numerous times throughout the weekend. but it was just great to have everyone there, and the level of play that was there was crazy. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that type of play there, especially from the pitchers seeing new batters and people may not have been playing for a few months, but man, it was great. It was awesome.
I think
we lost. You know me. I'm always here for controversy. It seemed like an all-star game to me, though, man. 38-33 was that one of the scores that I saw, man? Very little defense. Yeah. It seemed like a real all-star game, man.
We did wish there was more grass, but they were fast fields. But there was all-stars hitting the ball, though.
No, yeah. I hear you.
In all fairness, I going into it, it's kind of what I expected, and not knock it. I didn't care what the grass was going to be or anything. When you just throw players together, even if they're the best our sport has to offer, like the continuity on defense, the communication, there's no way it could be there, especially because you guys didn't get any practice time together, right? At all, or did you, Zach?
We had a very little, maybe like 30 minutes each team before the game.
Yeah. No. So I mean,
there's a comfort level that has to go along with playing great defense, I think.
Absolutely.
You're just not going to get that just throwing people together and stuff like that. So
and beat baseball is a sport that has always, like, the offense has always, I feel, had an edge over the defense. Yeah, judging by our high batting averages every year, like for the all tournament team, I think that plays out true. So, with the sport where the offense already kind of has an edge, and then it's an all-star showcase with all the best hitters, many of the best hitters. I mean, I never expected a low scoring game.
You never thought you'd see a 7-5 game, NealDawg?
No,
I wasn't feeling that one, man. No, I hear that.
D. Smith, you back with us? I thought we lost you for a minute. No, we still don't have him. I thought I heard
you lost him for more than
right. I thought that was his laugh.
Got off.
He just slipped out right when we started going, so I don't even know if he knows he might have lost his connection. I'm sure he'll come back if he can. I don't know, because Richie and Seth and I did a fantasy draft involving the players for this weekend. I've got the results for that. We'll be able to share. There's David Smith back. But so I don't know if the numbers I was looking at were from one game or from the weekend. Maybe one of you can help me, but I saw that Jared Woodard's contact percentage was 98-point-something%, and Jeremy Lopez, man, who I thought was at a big disadvantage coming into this, really, because of his lack of experience, he was at 96-point-something%.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy.
And that was for all three games, right? Those numbers.
Yeah.
No, I think that was for game 3.
Okay.
Jason, you take that. That was
that was for game 3. I think I just remember that game because I was helping DB out with commentary on that one, and I think we went into 4 innings before somebody struck somebody out. I think there was 2 strikeouts for Jeremy that game, 1 for Jared, and they had just switched teams. So some guys, of course, they had gotten familiar with, over that time period, but then you got guys coming from the blue team going to the red team because it's Texas versus USA, and they're working with new batters and new people, and it was just impressive. I guess from someone who's been around sports and covered sports and seen a lot of different angles, it was one of the most impressive things I've ever been a part of. And I've seen, been to World Series games, stuff like that. I was, just amazed by the athleticism, the competitiveness, and just from all the way down to the spotters, and just seeing the best of the game be on one field at the same time, which is the athletic spectacle to be that I was happy that I was there for.
Yeah, I want to run down the rosters, and then we could go through the 3 games and explain for those that didn't know what changed up.
I thought you were about to say who won our fantasy league. I thought that's where you were going on. I thought that's the direction you were going, man.
I just said I said that I have those numbers, and I'll share that. I'm already on the screen for the rosters on the two teams. So let's do that, and then run down the 3 games and how they played out, and the change that Jason just mentioned from the 3rd game. So, what team David Smith? You were the red team, is that correct, Dave? Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. He had his first pick with Jared Wooder, a pitcher. He has Hillary House-Ozwald on his team. He had Mikey Finn, Richie Castineda, Little Meat, Casey Krouse, Tyler Rodriguez. Who? Oh, Brock. I just had the last name, and I was hearing Rob and not Brock. I'm like, who's Rob? So Daniel Brock.
No, he actually got switched though. Daniel Brock was.
I didn't change that up. So this is where Scholtz.
Yeah, we traded
Scholtz
him.
came to your team. All right, so Scholtz, Hogwood, Krussel, Axel, and Stanley Griffin. So let's go down to Zach's team, the blue team. Yeah, Justin Holland, Gerald Dycus, Kalari Action Jackson, Mike Coughlin, sorry. Darius Sterling, Mark Morris, who unfortunately wasn't able to show up. Ron Jordan, and Kyle Borah, Johnny Marjist, and not Richie Schultz, Daniel Brock. Schultz is the name that was there. So let me close that out. Is that the whole team? Oh no, and Jeremy Lopez was the pitcher for Zach's team. I never had the spotters written down. Go ahead and give everybody the 2 spotters for the 2 teams.
My spotters were Cam, Hogwood, and Christina Smurf. Yeah. And then the blue was Rose Garcia and
Molly.
Money Molly. Yeah, Molly Fleming, right?
Yep.
Here we go.
All right, there. I wanted to go over to the fantasy results. So both games, the first 2 games were both won by Team Red, correct? Your team, David Smith. I got your names, but I'm not sure I have the colors right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you guys, the first game was what, 22-18 or somewhere along those lines?
Yeah, going into the top of the 6th, we had to call it because we had ran out of time.
Oh, I lost the feed, and I wasn't sure if like the feed just ended there and you guys went on plane, or if that's where.
Yeah, we had some trouble, and that was our fault. We had some trouble with the stream. The hotspot was terrible, and we probably should have asked other people for suggestions, but that was on our fault. But we ended up fixing it the next day, and it was good.
It was perfect the second day. And I mean, I wasn't complaining about the stream. I felt for you guys. Like, you get out there, you do all this stuff, and it's really just our little beatball world that's mostly interested. And we, it was really choppy. And Seth, you'd be interested. I think Katie Mathena was doing on Friday and part of Saturday. She was doing the play-by-play with DB. She's like a full-grown woman now. I haven't been around Katie Mathena since she was like a little kid following our team around in the 90s, wanting to watch Bam Bam hit the ball. So,
so now, how did the game go? Was it we hear 22-18. I mean, was it? I'm asking you guys who were there. Was it a close game? Was it a back and forth game? What? How did the game go?
So yeah, it was Red. I think Red batted first, right? And we came out. We scored 2 runs, and then we go on the field, and all of a sudden Jeremy just slings 9. Man, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
the hell?
It was 9-2 after the first inning. He came right back.
Yeah, and the balls. So that was the first time you experienced how fast the balls are coming out, really, in live game, and it's like, oh shoot, these things are coming out faster than I've ever experienced before. And Jeremy just jumped on us right away on the blue team. And from then on, we came back up.
I think Jared put up 12.
I put up 12. We were like, okay. And then it was a little bit back and forth, but we pulled away, came up with the win at the end.
Yeah, at times it was totally like a video game, man. The pitchers were just hitting everything, and it was great batters up there taking their swings.
Yeah,
and Jason, what'd you think of it?
Yeah,
and then I think this is it was a theme for I think all three games you have. Because I think you mentioned it's like an all-star game, and I'm going to equate it to like the NBA all-star game.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought of it too.
Right.
It was so much like an NBA all-star game to me.
Because the first three quarters, NBA all-star game, there's no defense,
Right.
and then you get to that fourth quarter,
And the pride
everybody
steps
starts
in.
and I think you see like when you look at that score of that game, you had it was 14-9 after 2.5 innings. And the final score was 22-18. So you start seeing the defense start syncing up, start figuring out things at the end of every game. Also the coaches, they're competitive too. I think they start, matchups and who's going in where. They start paying a little bit more attention to detail. And when you got to those 4th, 5th, 6th innings in those games, like it became like almost like a chess match. But I felt like it was kind of similar to how you have the NBA All-Star game that starts out heavy offensively. In that fourth quarter, people start locking down. You start seeing top-notch defensive plays. That's where it starts showing up. So I think the first game was kind of a theme for that throughout the rest of the it's hard to tell when you see a 38-33 score, but a lot of that was in those first few innings. Those first 4 innings.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
I don't
go
know,
ahead,
just off of memory on that first game, just 'cause I was playing behind him, but Mikey made some nice plays in that first night game, playing the midfield.
You're talking Mike Coughlin,
Mike
right?
Coughlin, yeah, Mike Coughlin.
Okay.
Mike Finn made some plays too.
Yeah,
man.
no, he did, but Mike Coughlin, he seemed like he showed up like wanting to be the MVP of the weekend. Like he was banging around on both sides of the ball.
And the thing is, if you wanted to make a put out on this game on these fields, you had to be a bad mofo, man. Like you had to do something spectacular to get it. And that's what was most, man. Like when we came up with this idea, when we imagined, they brought that and some. Like everybody came and was like, I'm putting on the show, try to stop me, like every single person. So it was just crazy to see. Like I can't see the bodies on the field, but I can see the colors of the jerseys moving. And I would see a blue, and it would just fly across this way. And I'm like, what the hell? Diving, like, holy shit! Like I hadn't seen. This is what we wanted when we came up with this idea. We wanted something that you ain't seen before, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody came to put on the show.
So our second game, the final score is 24-23. And that our boy right here, D. Smith, had the walk-up. You scored the first and the last run of that final inning, correct, D. Smith? Because you guys scored 7 straight?
Like maybe I don't know.
I mean, you had to. I thought so because you guys scored 7 straight. It was 23-17 going into the bottom of the inning, and Zach's team, man, David's team scored that 7 straight to take it, man, and
with no outs.
Yeah, no outs. There were no putouts. It was 7 straight runs to walk that thing off. Hillary Oswald scored the tying run, and D. Smith, probably like the first or second pitch, won it.
Well,
bam.
So it was funny because earlier in the game, like not even that, it was like an hour earlier in the game. Orlando comes up to me, it's like, "Yeah, it's me. It'll be a walk off, D. Smith. You ready?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I'm in the hole on the last at bat, and I look at him, I was like, "Dude. Did you just call this?" And so Hillary comes up and she freaking scores. I'm like, oh shoot, man. So I just had a big smile on my face the whole time because I thought that just the way it played out was pretty cool.
Definitely. Anything stand out to you, Jason, on that second game? Anything in particular? Oh, we lost Jason. Zach, you?
Not really. Just the style of the play was good. It's like the first game, a lot of offense, and
All right.
Pretty much the same. But and then also, well, I don't know if we brought it up already, but big shout out to Katie and DB for doing the new score sheets. We tried it out, Demo's new system of doing like a short, mid, and outfield and recording those stats. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, as I read through, Dave Benny posted something, I think today or yesterday, like kind of like highlighting the top players. And the way he listed it was short players, mid players, and deep players. And I assumed that, DB knows all the players so well. He just knew where people were playing. I didn't realize that was the way the stats took it down. That's way cool. That's way cool.
So thank you, Katie.
Thanks to you guys also for like kind of being innovative, because that's like a direction that the league's attempting to go now. So good for you guys for including that. You were going to say something, Dave? What
No,
I
go
think.
ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
No.
All right, go ahead, Seth.
So what got you guys after that to switch to the other format?
My team.
Well, I was like, we talked to amongst each other, and we're like, well, it was best out of 3. Y'all already won 2, so do y'all want to switch? y'all basically won the series already.
Yeah.
So y'all want to switch it up, and everyone was down, so everyone had fun with it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea. I like that you guys were being flexible. You know what I mean? You didn't just I might have been hard headed, like, no, we said we're doing it this way and whatever. I like that you guys were flexible. So for those that don't know what ended up happening, because out of the 17 teams that played in the 2022 World Series, 7 are from Texas. So we have a large Texas representative, and about half of the All-Stars that were there over the weekend were all from Texas-based teams. So all the Texas-based teams played together on the final game, and all of the players from outside of Texas joined to be the other team. And the final score is 38-33 USA. Did they go by USA?
I was hearing people say USA. Oh, was it USA? I also heard the world too. I was like, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, on that broadcast, I was so confused to what to call.
Jason just kept saying the rest.
Yeah, I said Team USA. Then I said Team Middle and part of the East, because I kept getting new details, and then finally they settled on Team USA. I was like, thank God that you guys picked the name in the 4th inning, so I can keep trying to figure out what to call you guys. So I was able to appreciate that, later on. But yeah, Team USA was the final name for that team.
You, by the way, Jason, you do a good job when you're on the streams. I heard you when the Archers were playing the Twisters. I heard you a little bit. I know Andrea does a lot of your streaming, but you did a little bit at the World Series, if I remember right. It seems like I heard you there. But either way, you do a good job on the streams.
I get too stressed out during Archers games. So my Apple Watch is usually at like 128 resting heartbeat or something. So I can't concentrate on the stream. But even there, going to a Team USA game and Team versus Team Texas, because the earlier part of the day I was helping. Jason Price doesn't really need my help out there. I was helping him out with some field umpiring. Basically, I was shagging balls, is what I said. I was just chasing balls. They didn't get their roll to the other field. So I spent the first 2 games running around, and I said, kind of with that game, I said, I'm going to be biased this game, Jason. You don't want me because this Team USA is, the part of the country that I'm from. So I'm going to go sit down and spectate or do something else. So I was like, yeah, you asked me to call this game this close, it's going to be Team USA all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down somewhere. So.
We like homers. I'm a big fan. I listen to my Cowboy broadcast because I like homers, man.
Oh, you said Cowboy broadcast. I was like, I'm a 49er fan, so I heard that almost.
Being growing up in the Bay Area and having to listen to the Niners broadcast, you guys have had a lot of homers as your as your play-by-play people, man. But I digress. We won't talk about Mr. Irrelevant and Jimmy G and all that stuff. So, but go ahead.
We'll do that. We'll do that off air. We'll take some five bets on that one off air.
You guys want to hear how our fantasy contest went between the Big Noise and Bam Bam and me?
Let's do it.
Us. All right. I meant to do a screen share and I didn't. I don't want to hold it up more, so I'm just gonna call it out. So the Big Noise had Castineda, who he had 7 points. So we followed the same format that the people that do fantasy beat baseball at the World Series, where you just get 1 point for every run scored and 1 point for every put out. So Lil Meat had 7, Coughlin 19, which is the highest that any individual had
Nice.
out of the entire group.
Mikey.
Tyler Rodriguez with 8. Ron Jordan 8 also. Sterling, Day Sterling 16. Big. Most of that he had 12 putouts. He had more putouts
Nice.
than anybody else. Hillary House-Ozwald had 4. Mr. Scholtz had 9, and that gave Richie a total of 71. Mr. Bam Bam had D. Smith, 16, another big number. Mr. Krussel with 12. Axel Cox, 14.
Damn.
Mark Morris. I actually thought Mark was on my team. That's obvious. He didn't make it, Seth. I think you already heard it, so that got you a 0. But I thought Mark was on my team. I was like, man, I got a 0 on that dude. I was all disappointed. I was happy when I was going through the stats and adding all this up. Like, oh, good.
Come on, Bam Bam. You got to check the lineup,
Yeah,
bro.
right, man. Come on, man.
I'm going to give Mark a hard time for giving somebody a 0 in fantasy because we have
Yeah,
our own
right.
Mark's fantasy football. I had to talk to him about it.
I'm a big Mark Morris fan. I know I reached out to you, Jason, when he signed with the Archers. I think that was a big pickup for you guys. Casey Krouse, our rookie of the year, 15. Most of that, I think, on defense. I think he had 9 putouts and 6 runs scored, but that's going total memory there. Kalari Girtley-Jackson had 3. Stanley Griffin with 4. And that's a total of 64 for Set Dog, 7
Oh,
behind.
Mark
Big
Morris cost me the championship.
He
man.
did.
That's-
Because his first like,
Oh, man.
Oh, man,
screwed
come
us.
on, Mark. Come
Oh,
on, man. That's
oh,
ridiculous, man. I clearly win if I have Mark Morris, man. But go ahead. I don't know what your number is yet. Neil, but go ahead.
My first pick, Gerald Dycus, only got me 7, man. These guys are conspiracy. These dudes wouldn't play my man, and then they didn't let him hit off Jared. So that was my first pick. I only got 7 out of Dycus. Justin Holland, the big monster, 15. Kyle Borah. We forgot to talk about that. We will when, as soon as we're done with this. But actually, you guys all tied on the home run thing, I think, if I remember right now. Kyle Borah, 9. Michael Finn, 15. Johnny Marjist, 18. He and Marjist and Zach each had 18 for our second highest total behind Coughlin. Daniel Brock got me 5. I don't know what's up with that. Dakota Hogwood, 4. And that gave me a total of 73. And I'm your big winner, baby. Just, I actually just because I listened to most of all 3 games, and I was thinking that both Richie and Seth were kicking my butt because a lot of their players were putting up big numbers. I do think if Mark Morris was there, Seth, you might have taken it.
You're going to put oh my God, Mark, huh?
I think Mark would have put up 9. That's what he would, or 10. He would need a 10 at least.
Yeah, I would have been. I'm the only guy that got a 0, man. How's that work, man? That's my fantasy life, though, man. I always work out to figure out ways to lose, but it's all good.
I actually think that would have been kind of a tailor-made situation for Mark, like with all that offense playing deep in the outfield. I don't know if that's where he would have.
Yeah, he would have been hard to put out. He would have been hard to.
Yeah, for sure. With the speed and all that.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying on defense, I think he would have made it like quite a few put-outs out in the outfield also. But I don't know, just a prediction on my part.
Congratulations.
Nobody was getting in the outfield.
Hey, so talk about, because we skipped over it, not on purpose. I just forgot about it. But talk about the home run contest and how that all played out.
It was definitely a learning experience.
You guys keep trying to do them home run contests, man.
Yeah, keep on trying. 6 minutes was probably a little too long, but we just stayed with it, and it probably caused us to not be able to finish that first game. And but it was cool, I remember everyone saying 135, that's easy to go over, and no one could hit over.
Yeah,
So
it was hard.
we also had some fences out there. We had like maybe 5 bike racks out there that maybe came up to about chest high.
Okay.
And Justin hit one. It hit the top and came back in.
Oh.
I'm not sure if they ever counted it or not, but that was pretty cool.
Orlando tried to count it. You guys didn't give it to him. He tried to count it.
We put the fence out there for a reason.
Yeah,
Because if that fence wasn't there, it for sure would have been over. But it was the green monster out there, man.
Ground rule double.
Yeah.
So I believe like Zach, Arambula, D. Smith, Justin, Holland, and one more, like 4 of you. Ron Jordan, did the 4 of you all hit?
Oh yeah, Ron Jordan too.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
If we can go back, we probably would have done that on the second day, because the pitchers were warming up still when we had it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Right. No, that's true.
Listen, it doesn't matter like what it is, especially like a big event. Like we hosted the World Series here in Sacramento in 1999, and back then it was done way different. So like the majority of that was like a 2-year project between me and one other person. We had a great committee that helped us, but a lot of the work was like like 2 of us. And when it was all over, I was just wiped out, and I never had any desire to host the World Series here in Sacramento again. But still, I knew if we did, I could do a better job, because going through it, you learn what you don't know or whatever. When you're doing something the first time, you don't know what you don't know. So
exactly. And then apologies to we had people. We had 2 more skill events, but we just the games were going so long because there was so much offense. I just didn't want to. We didn't want to fit any more in and risk the luck of like not being able to finish another game, and we were running low on balls. But so we just ended up just playing both games on the next day too.
I think that was a good pivot, because I think I knew from a spectator standpoint, I could be wrong. I know about the player standpoint, but I know like having the Texas USA seemed like there was a lot more energy, a lot more people were into that game. So I would say it was a good pivot on that way of, changing over. So, some of the best decisions or best things that happen are, split second to last minute, being able to adjust and adapt. And I think that was a good decision to kind of finish out the weekend.
just follow your
man,
gut.
it was fun for sure.
Follow your gut. Don't overthink it. With the skills thing, I was curious, how do you what the plan was? Because even though I thought the idea, I'm thinking of the the defense. You guys were going to do the one hop contest or whatever. How were you planning to do that? Because I thought that would be really hard to pull off.
Right. So that was either going to be really cool or a disaster. It was gonna be one of the two. But we were willing to try it. And so the plan was Jared to hit off a tee, and one player plays midfield with whatever spotter they want, and it could be hit within 2 zones of them. So say someone's playing in the 2 zone, it could be hit in the 2, 3, or the 1, and it's playable. And you're just trying to catch it off the 1 hop. Yeah. So Jared's gonna hit a ball in that area. The spotter can call a spot, and he tries to catch it off the 1 hop. And they're gonna get each 10 balls.
I just where I really thought the difficulty would be is giving everybody like the same fare, like 10 balls, because you just can't control how a ball's gonna hop. You know, it's
yeah. And we're going into it in the hope of like, it's fun. It's a fun skill event, and shouldn't be taken too seriously.
That's a good point. Yeah,
there's always randomness in all of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
and that was that, and the fastest man, we were planning on doing it like we called it fastest base. So we were actually gonna do it like you had to make contact with the ball and go to a random base.
Okay, just like a real life game.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that because that is different. That is different than just going on a sprint. Like, Eric Mazariegos, who I'm surprised hasn't walked through my door yet, but like he wasn't usually like the fastest player in the league, and he wasn't even like when we had Roger, he wasn't even the fastest player on our team, but he was the best base runner, like swinging the bat and getting out of the box. It always amazed me how quickly and fluently Eric got out of the box after he made contact. And it doesn't matter how good a sprinter you are, if you're not that good at getting out of the box after like Seth and I, man, we always took steps towards the wrong base half the time after we made contact. So if you, I love that you actually were making it like a real at bat rather than just a sprint.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. What are you testing, right? You were testing pure speed, or were we testing the skills based run, right? Like,
yeah. No, that's
cool. And that brings me to another thing, Jason. I would like for you to comment on this, but Fonzie brought out some Bluetooth bases.
Yep.
And Jason, what do you think of those?
I liked him a lot. His new nickname is Beatball Tony Stark, according to Orlando. That's his new nickname is Beatball.
I don't think Seth even gets that reference.
I don't.
Iron Man. That's Iron Man.
I liked him.
Superhero.
I thought it was a Stephen King character. I'm sorry.
No. We gotta get you to some of those. We gotta get you to some of those Marvel movies. We gotta get you.
Exactly.
No, I thought they were impressive, especially with the way they operated. Because we've been in events where we had, someone use wireless bases, and they didn't work quite well. That's as much as I'll say there. So, seeing his model, seeing the work that he's put into there, and knowing that we have sets of bases here at Mines that we use for our fundraising tournaments that don't sound like the standard base. I was like, I want to be like, how much, Fonzie, can you fly down here and change all these over? We have about 8 to 10 sets just sitting there that we want to change over. So his model is something I think definitely I hope the league looks into. I hope that because I thought they worked well. I thought they were easy to use. They lasted the whole game. They were durable, because you had guys run to these, some of the best base runners are the best base runners in the sport, running to these bases full speed, tackling them, and they held up the whole game. Didn't really change the sound. Didn't really hesitate. The circuit was working fine. So yeah, I thought he did a great job, and like to see us be tested out more. But I definitely like that direction from someone who has to help set up bases. Easy just to pop one down and put it in the ground and go instead of unwiring and untangling that.
Yes.
So, I definitely can appreciate that.
Yeah. And the sound was innovating too. Like it was like a smooth, pure sound. Like it wasn't all like it just sounded clean, more innovating.
Are you sure, Smith? Because you missed the base.
He dropped it, did push-ups without being told, though. I like that.
That was rusty.
You cost me a point. You cost me a point. You cost me a point, D. Smith.
I had a little mental.
That's a number one pick too.
Right. Oh man, my team just fell apart on me, man. Come on, man.
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend, the golden child is walked through my front door. Everybody.
Hey, what's up, Maserati?
Zach, he can't hear you. Zach Arambula said, "What up, E-Dog?" Oh, he probably doesn't even let me call him E-Dog anymore after he left our team like he did.
E-Star.
All right, you're good. So actually, if you guys want, I'll throw them on the headset, let them say hey to you. Before we wrap it up, though, guys, I want to give some love to the sponsors you guys had.
For sure.
And we got Jason here to talk about Mind's Eye. But first, give Tappy some love. Texas, I never get that. Texas, like athletes, something.
It's go ahead, Smith.
Texas Adaptive Play Initiative.
There you go.
Yes,
you go.
sir.
TAPI, Tappy.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone, man. Like I said, we've thanked everyone numerous times throughout the weekend. Yeah. Mind's Eye, Sports Vision, Beat Ball Nation, and DB, everyone, man, that helped out. Rose Garcia with the video, man. And we have a little trailer coming out soon with that. Here. That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, you said you were going to walk in and be quiet till we were done with the goddamn show. Where's Seth? Seth? Where you at, Seth? Sit the hell down. Shut the hell
up. Tell him. Neil, it's that language talking to Eric that caused him to leave our team. You know.
I know. I wanted to point out to people, it's like, you guys think that Seth and I are mean to folks. Like, there's nobody we've been meaner to in this world than Eric. He won't admit it, but I'm sure we're reasons 1A why he left the Dogs. We'll be done in a minute.
Hey, we never had a like team little group thing out there that I wouldn't turn to Eric and say, Eric, it's an honor and privilege to play with you. Yeah. So I gave him love. It was NealDawg who was all jealous of him. Stay off my ball, dog.
I thought Axel was going to be here too. I was going to point out to Zach and Axel, they need to be a little more humble like you and I. Like, even though you and I have treated Eric like crap, we're fully aware that he's the reason we have championships. Like, without Eric, you and I never won any championships. And Zach and Axel think, man, over there playing in right field back then, man. They thought they won them championships. He doesn't know Eric's last name. They call him Maserati or something like that.
Yeah, right. There's a funny story behind that for sure.
So shout out to Tappy and props to them for jumping in with you guys right away and supporting this project, because that was very impressive.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And same to you, Jason. I gotta give you the proper title, because like when you're given credit for running Mind's Eye, it's like, oh, he's like the manager, the general manager. Like, no, this man is the president and the CEO of Mind's Eye. So he's a Mac Daddy. Can't call this man a manager. But Jason, man, how was it that you were able to jump in and support this so easily?
I just reached out to D Smith. I mean, I think I'm gonna credit, give some acknowledgement to a speech that was made my very first World Series in 2021 of being that is actually by the Jets former pitcher Kevin Simpson, and he talked about being around the game and so like I said earlier, someone who's been a fan of sports, who's worked at a local ESPN affiliate, being around it, covering games. You become a fan of athletes, whether it's, my favorite athlete of all time is Albert Pujols. I'm a lifelong Cardinal fan, but, kind of being a fan of these guys who play beat baseball, truly impressed by the athleticism. You can put Steph Curry out on, if I put one of these guys out there and say, hey, make a 3-pointer in 4 attempts, they'll probably figure it out. If I tell Steph Curry to come here to beat baseball in 4 pitches, he's probably not making it, or, in any other sport. So, I just look at it from the standpoint, they're the best athletes that I get to be around, get to see. I'm a fan, more so than I know people always don't know my title for the Archers or Mind's Eye, but, someone who supports the team, who follows the team, who, like I said, gets stressed out when they're down or doing things, in the games. But I'm also a fan of other players in the team. We had a pleasure of having D Smith play with our team once last year. It wasn't just so like, we want to win the games, we want to bring him in to help us win, but also with the way he's committed and works so hard at the sport, you want that to rub off on your players as well. So, and I can say it about a lot of the guys that we saw there this weekend, just their work ethic, their attention to detail, the way they go about playing a sport. It's just inspiring, but also just something that, I'm just impressed by. I can watch a million beat ball games more so than I watch MMA, and that's a hard thing I probably wouldn't tell you two years ago. But I'm just a fan, so I just wanted to help out and support any way that we could, and hope to definitely want to make sure these guys are going to do this again next year. So they already have my support, going forward for the next year's initiative too.
Nice.
Oh, it's for sure happening, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate that,
brother.
Not just with this event, like I'm so impressed with how active Mind's Eye has been since hitting the scene of beat baseball. Like the fact that you're going to be hosting the 24 and the 25 World Series. You guys are hosting an 8-team tournament next year, which I think is hard to pull off just because like the teams that travel around and have the money to travel, like they've got their summer planned out most of the time. And the fact that you guys were able to pull in an 18 tournament next year, just everything that Mind's Eye is doing in support of beat baseball just blows me away. I'm very impressed with your organization.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate that. And,
big shout out.
Current players, but also, I go back and try to look at the history of how we can get better. So coming from you, someone who knows one of the better players in the history of this game, that means a lot.
I appreciate that. I hope you remember that because, man, if I could find my way to that Gateway region, I hope you have a spot for me.
Hey, we love to have you out here.
I'll be part of that.
We're looking forward to it. It's an opportunity in 2023 to not only host a regional here, but we want to make sure when we host the World Series in 24-25, it's a way for us to get some immediate feedback on things we're looking to do at that World Series. So when teams come out and after they leave and during the time they're here, we're going to ask them, hey, how'd you like this? Did this work? Do we need to change this before 24-25, hosting the World Series? So we're taking that very seriously because we want to make sure, as we do with the Gateway Archers, make sure the players just can come and play and have a good time. I know there's a lot of things that stress you out during the week, whether it's certain things about hotels or, how your dog's being treated in doggy daycare. We want to make sure that players are able to be comfortable with all that and just come and play. Like, that's what we want to do for the regional to the World Series.
Well, keep it up, man. Keep it up. You guys are doing great work. Look forward to following it. I can't have a 10-time champion and a member of the MBBA's Hall of Fame in the house without throwing him on the camera with you guys. So I'm gonna force him to sit down and say hello. Set Dog, I'll let you take it over and let you close it out when you're done making fun of our friend here.
my former teammate, baby.
Yeah, hold on.
Let's go, E-Dog. Let's go, E-Dog.
All right,
E-Dog!
What's going on, Seth, man?
No. Oh, man, I've been surviving, man. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you. You know me, man. I'm the worst person in the world as a getting
Mr.
back
technology, right?
Yeah, you know how it is, man. We got to hook up, though.
I figured, we'd fire up that Niner-Cowboy rivalry, although with Jimmy G gone
baby.
now.
Yeah, right.
Might be, your chances just improved a lot with Jimmy G.
I don't respect your team at all, man. And I love Jimmy G coming, but you guys beat us last time, so I don't know how the hell that worked out.
Well, you guys maybe got your clock management worked out from last year.
It's all right. We got the best defensive player on the field.
You definitely got a freaking game record. That guy's.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who has the best. We have the best defensive player. I don't know. I heard Richard Sherman saying that like Nick Bosa was the defensive player of the year. I'm like, man, Micah Parsons, man, you crazy, dude. Micah Parsons is a beast, bro.
I think he got a little bit better, like overall defense. I don't think it's much better. Our secondary is a little suspect this year. If we're not getting that pass rush on, then we're you saw what Kansas City did.
Yeah, right. It's always good. So what's up with you, E-Dog?
Not much. Just up to SAC for tomorrow. 3 days of meetings for for DOR. So now that I'm the quote unquote acting administrator at OCB, I got to attend these meetings up here in SAC every 3 months. 3 days of meetings all day.
Oh wow, the name dropping. I like it. He rocked.
Yeah. Look at you, man. maybe if I wasn't already employed, I'd say, man, shit, E-Dog, I need a job, man. Hire me, dude.
Plenty of jobs out there. Plenty of jobs out there. But yeah, it's all good. It's good to be back in Sac. I'm actually staying on Howe Avenue, or right not too far from where I used to live.
So are you officially retired, E-Dog?
I'm definitely retired.
You're definitely retired.
Oh yeah.
You're not.
Yeah. I mean, if I go out to the World Series, it would just be to go out and check out the games and stuff. Yeah.
It's hard to think that all our careers are over. Well, Finn's still going.
I think Finn's the only one. I think he's got the magical juice or something, man.
He's still an all-star, man. He's still an all-star.
I think he's the only guy that got better with age.
Yeah, right.
It's like the reverse.
Right, like taking steroids or something like that. It's like, what are you doing, Mike, man? Like, because I even when we were doing this all-star thing, I'm like, man, there's nobody from the West Coast. Like, oh, Mikey Finn. Of course, Mike Finn, of course, man.
I haven't. I'll get all the details from Neil on how it went this weekend, but it was a success all in all. The All-Star weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yep. Right 38-3 was the score of one of the games.
Oh.
No, 38-33, right?
Yeah, 33.
Oh yeah, 38-33.
Math wasn't your best subject in high school, Zach.
Yeah, just picking up balls that make noise.
Carry the three.
Yeah, like that would have been a story. 38-3. It's like, whoa, yeah. not quite such an all-star.
So who ended up pitching? Was it Jared and Kyle, or did Kevin come out, or?
It was Jared and Jeremy Lopez, rookie.
Wow. So
yeah,
I was pretty okay. Yeah, he looked pretty impressive that's not bad for a first-year pitcher at all.
He showed up, and that totally stranger players. You know what I mean? Never seen them.
You got that one bump out of the way when you guys lost to Austin. But after that, you guys freaking were lights out.
Yeah.
I gotta bring up old stuff.
No, I'm just
E-Dog dropping stuff, man. E-Dog the great, man. E-Dog, I know this will throw you on the spot, man. In your all-star career, give us like a one of your most memorable moments, man. When you think back on your career and something you makes you smile, something you're like, man, I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I did that, man. What do you think of? Man?
Most of my memories are like our defense and inning, like in Taiwan, our defense, like in the championship game, Indians 4-5-6. Most of my memories are more like, well, obviously we were more of a defensive team, so I don't have too many memories of these awesome, like offensive comebacks or anything like that. So I think Taiwan really was one of my, the first year we won was cool and all that stuff, but I thought Taiwan was one of my more memorable years that we had together. So
it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's always important to win championships.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, winning the first one was obviously since we knocked at the door a few years and come up short.
What was your most crushing loss?
I would say 90. Was it 7 where we lost? Yeah, I missed a base. Of course, you always remember the shitty moments. Those stick out loud and clear. But of course, I think we lost by 1 run or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No, I remember that.
That one. I thought that was the year we were going to bust through. So that one definitely that hurt.
It's funny. I had my seizure. I forgot about a whole bunch of stuff. And it was like 2-3 years ago where I'm talking to Neil about like the history of the dogs, and I had totally forgot about 97. I had totally forgot about that game. So it's like, but I see why. I see why that was a crushing defeat, man.
How many years we are knocking on the door before y'all won y'all's first one? Just curious.
So we 95 we took third. 97 we took third. 98 we took second. So 96 was kind of a forgettable year because it wasn't really beat ball that year. It was just like playing beat ball on concrete. So it wasn't really much of a whoever had the best pitcher was going to win that year.
Hey, that's what I always say. You know, that was the year, you know, that we did something great. We got 12 run twice in one game.
Yeah.
That's an impressive feat right there.
That's right, against Wichita, right? Yeah.
That's impressive
Then
feat.
he had to start all over again with the Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Been
but
like
I
2
mean,
weeks.
most sport teams, you got to suffer those disappointments. It's
Right.
pretty rare that you're on a team that just boom
All right. Just
championship.
stop.
Yeah,
And,
we've been knocking on it.
yeah, you guys.
I get there one day.
Yeah, I think you guys, your defense has gotten way better than what it was like 3 years ago, 4 years. It seems like you guys have shored that up for sure.
Mm.
Now you just,
Come on back, Eric.
Put you in there for the last inning, man. You know, we just need like 3 outs, E-Dawg, man. Come on now, E-Dawg. Well, all right, E-Dawg.
all right, man. Well, good talk. Is it D. Smith on the line too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, D. I don't quite totally have your voice down like everybody else, but I think that's D. Smith.
Yes, sir.
Cool,
Jason
man.
Frazier from Mind's Eye.
So you guys trying to be pulling the whole crew back next year, same crew, and showing up to the World Series?
Running it back, baby.
Bringing
Running it back.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Too close not to.
Double A, and Renee, and the whole gang.
Yeah, Double A missed this last year, but I think he'll be back next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are right there.
Knocking on the door.
You need a couple of home run hitters though to compete with.
Come on, D. Smith.
I got it. I'm gonna get it. Hey, I'm gonna get it.
D. Smith, you need that weight room, buddy. Something.
Hold on. I want to clear the air. Let me just, when it gets quiet, so everybody can hear this. It's gonna happen. And it's gonna be magical.
Okay. Is this gonna be like Corey White, bottom of the sixth?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't get more.
All right, let's end this podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if we want to bring that one up.
Yeah, right. Not quite the crowd that remembers that as a magical moment.
I hear you, but that was pretty freaking.
Yeah, that was good for him. Good for him.
I was when Batman was like, "Come on, E-Dawg, we only need 3 hours." Like, ain't nothing you can do when someone hits it over everybody.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we all know how it feels to watch another man live your dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a part of the process.
Keep going forward. Always tomorrow. Until you get to be mine and Eric's age, and you have to retire, and it's all done.
Yeah, but you guys got plenty of years to go,
we're
right?
A different generation, though. We're gonna last longer.
Yeah.
I guess for the Archers, it's got to be Demo's their home run hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some other guys. I mean, you got some capable hitters. I mean, Krussel almost hit a couple this year.
Krussel can be.
Yeah, it's like you can't forget about him and a couple other guys. I think our rookie that we have that, I'm not to put rookie watch on, but Caleb Wright's going to be one. He's hit a couple in practice, and he's hit I think when he played Chicago, he went about 159, so he was real close to there too. So
well, don't pull that crap against us.
we never play you guys.
I know.
You're like one of the teams that we will never see. So
well, hopefully this next year.
I think that's why I haven't started hating you guys yet, because we never play you. So then that would be different.
Yeah.
You'll know when you play them with the scrub-a-dub cheers and they got all the I don't know what the Scooby-Doo.
The scrub-a-dub cheers. I like that. All right. Okay. Well, good. I guess I am here. Eric, thank you for joining us.
All right, brother. Well,
I get to be in charge of closing the show out, man.
All right, you close it out.
Yep. E-Dawg.
And next time up in Zach, we'll have to get together.
Yes, I would have come out tonight, man. But you know how it is, man. You know how it is. You can come up in the morning, man. Much higher probability of me coming out at like 8 in the morning, man. But
yeah. Gotcha.
But,
okay.
Yeah, no, man. We'll see. Yeah.
Get a game of cards going, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Some cribbage. I've been playing cribbage online. I always think of you, man.
Okay. I will school you.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay, man.
All
I'll
right,
let you
E-Dog.
sign out. All right.
Yep. All right. Okay. And
All
right,
hey,
see you guys.
Yep,
Later,
thank
G.
you. Hey,
Later,
hey,
Eric.
Zach, thank you. Jason, thank you. D. Smith, thank you. Sorry you didn't get me 9 more points, man. It would have been great.
Man, my
you
bad.
know, I need it. And we will be out of here. I will close. I think we're gonna do our Beat Ball Jeopardy here in another week or two.
Yes, sir.
Frank Porter. Oh, NealDawg, I was gonna close it all out. Frank Porter, happy birthday again.
Frankie, happy birthday, dog.
And NealDawg, we're out of here.
All right.
All
Peace,
right.
everybody.
All right.
Peace and love. Peace and love.